President Trump has approved federal funding for National Guard troops dealing with the coronavirus crisis in 3 more states: Connecticut, Illinois, and Michigan. It comes one day after extending social distancing guidelines through April 30th. In an interview with Fox News Channel, the president said his top health experts cautioned against pulling the guidelines too soon.
The worst that could happen is you do it too early and all of a sudden it comes back. That makes it more difficult.
The president's top health experts are warning against ignoring those guidelines, predicting the death toll could climb to hundreds of thousands in the U.S.
We have to really tell the American people that they have to do more, to stay inside, to wash their hands, to social distance, and to assume that other people are infected even if they look asymptomatic.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says small business loans will be available Friday, 1 week after President Trump signed the massive economic stimulus Phase 3 bill into law. President Trump proclaimed March 30th National Doctors Day, praising the doctors and medical professionals on the front lines of battling the coronavirus. The president says he's considering ways of giving healthcare professionals hazard pay or bonuses, something some House Democrats would also like to see in a Phase 4 stimulus bill.
We're looking at that as either an amendment or something.
General Motors released these photographs of their efforts to make ventilators and face masks after the president invoked the Defense Production Act to compel the company to make more. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.